Welcome to How to Reverse Entropy. Today we will talk about the principle of least action, one of the most powerful tools in physics, which helps us to describe any object in motion, from planets, galaxies, and even subatomic particles. Since we are in high school, it is common to use Newton's law to describe the motion of objects. However, there are mechanical systems that are very complicated to describe using Newton's mechanics, and sometimes even impossible to solve. It was not until Lagrangian and Hamilton proposed a new mathematical framework, which was the foundation of modern physics. For simplicity, let's first consider an object that moves in a straight line. We don't know what the movement will be like yet, but we can add the temporal coordinate on the vertical axis to visualize the different possible trajectories in a given time. For example, it may take the path of a line, a quadratic function, or an exponential. Only one is the real path, and the focus of Lagrangian mechanics is to find it. To answer this question, we must first calculate the Lagrangian of the moving object. The Lagrangian is the difference between the kinetic energy and the potential. The kinetic energy tells us how much movement it presents in all its particles, while the potential is a field generated by the source of the force applied to the object. We can understand this by imagining that every point in space will have a number value. If we know the nature of the force acting on the object, we can determine the potential that generates it. Once we have the Lagrangian, we just have to calculate the action of the object. We can see the action as a machinery that has a trajectory as the input and a numerical value as the output. For example, this yellow path will have 43 as its action. This green one will have an action of 31. If we do this procedure for each of the possible trajectories, we can verify that the real trajectory is precisely the trajectory that has the least action. This is no coincidence, but it's known as the least action principle. With some modifications, it can be extended to quantum mechanics. Let's imagine that we are now dealing with the trajectory of an electron. The difference with the classical model seen before will be that the electron will no longer take the path with the least action, but it will take all the infinite possible paths, and each one will have a probability assigned proportional to the calculated action. This implies that the electron can go to the ends of the universe and return, even go back in time, or any other ridiculous trajectory that one can think of. This is the formulation of the path integral proposed by Richard Feynman, which served as the foundation of particle physics. But let's save that for another video. Thank you all for watching. This is a new video format using manim, in which I will explain concepts in a general way. I take this opportunity to announce that the channel has merchandising that can be ordered through social networks. I will leave the links in the description of the video. That will be it, and until next time.